Welcome back, everybody. Episode 2 of our latest podcast, Some Low Grade Gamers, the joint venture between Some Kind of Gaming, which is myself and the beautiful Laura over here, and the Low Grade Gamer.
Gorgeous low grade gamer. That's what I prefer.
Yep. Sorry, beautiful, gorgeous. I'll just be pretty. Let's roll with that.
Done.
So this is episode 2. We did promise you all last week that we'd be talking about the Game Awards this time round. But before we do that, how is everybody? Dan, how you been? What have you been playing lately? What's the go this week?
I'm good. I've actually been doing a lot of cloud gaming, using inside the Xbox Insider stuff. So I've been actually playing DayZ, which, yeah, I don't know how I feel about it because people hate you in that game. It's not the zombies you got to worry about. It's everybody else that just kill you.
Harsh.
Too relatable.
I literally walked through a door last night and got shot. That was it. I opened the door, bang.
So it's a real life apocalypse because let's be honest, people would not be friendly.
Absolutely.
No. And then you've got to start again. So you got to get all your stuff together again. You get a new character again, and then you jump into another server, and then bang, I died again. So
again.
For some reason, I persevered though. So I did it 6 times. And
so the game good then, I guess, if you persevered with it.
I just wanted to I don't know, get more than 2 minutes into the game before dying.
Totally.
Fair enough.
It was just that gamer need to just do a little bit better than I did the previous 5 times. But it's actually it's not a bad game. I think what they've done well is how big the game actually is and how big the map it is.
Especially on the cloud server.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. On cloud gaming, there was a couple of stages where it sort of flickered, I guess, or it looked like the quality dropped significantly. We spoke about it last week, is that it pushes performance over quality, which is, I prefer that personally.
100%, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it makes more sense. But it did that maybe 4 times through maybe 5 hours of playing DayZ. So I thought overall it was pretty good. I think they've really got something going. And again, like as I said last week, it's on the 5 gigahertz network. I'm unable to jump onto Ethernet at the moment for a variety of reasons. But the Xbox is connected via the 5 gigahertz network. So, and it's not that close to the router, and my mesh network died. Having a great week. My mesh network died. So it really, jumped on the 5 gigahertz network. It just works pretty damn good, especially, I mean, I was telling you last week, I was playing Forza Horizon as well, which it performed again decent. I mean, Forza would look much, much nicer if I just downloaded and installed it. But
100%,
again, games are so big now that I want to play, like I love playing Jurassic World Evolution, right? I love it. And I love that another one's come out.
I was going to say, sequel out just this week, I think.
Yeah, and the only problem is I don't play it enough to actually want to have it on my Xbox. You know, I've got Apex Legends. I've got...
that's huge.
That is
big.
So
much space.
I got Warzone because I play that with friends, even though... Well, actually, to be honest, I haven't played Warzone since the Activision debacle and all of the harassment claims. So I haven't actually played it since then.
Oh, no?
But I still have it installed for some reason.
Yep. It's also huge.
As we know.
Yep.
Huge Dragon Ball Z fan, so I have Kakarot, Fighter Z, and Xenoverse 2 all on the Xbox.
Nice.
They stay. That's it.
Nice.
Done.
Yep.
And that's it. I've got no more storage. And at the moment, to get the SSD, the 1 terabyte additional, I don't feel there's enough. I'm waiting until 2 or 4 come in, where it's as easy as that little, because they've done that so well, is that little tiny dongle which literally takes up no space outside of what the Xbox is, basically. It's really small. Yeah. So that's my preference. So
fair enough.
That's basically been my week. Lots of cloud gaming, and only cloud gaming, other than jumping into Cyberpunk to try and finish that mission, Roland's Butcher, for anybody watching and listening. Roland, just rock up, man.
Where are you, Roland?
Where are you, Roland?
Roland, if you're hearing this, you really need it at the Butcher.
We need to set up a hashtag. Where are you, Roland?
If you're out there anywhere, Roland.
Roland, go to work.
He's definitely fired.
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah.
How can he have a business if he's never there? That's
it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Who's chopped up his meat?
He's a butcher too.
Yeah,
exactly. I shudder to think what his produce is like at this point.
Yeah.
Who's playing with his meat? I don't know what's going
on. No one is.
Well, I guess that you mentioned Dragon Ball, so I guess that's a good segue into what I've been up to this week. One of the first times in my life, I'm usually a play one game, finish that one game kind of guy. I just enjoy, only focusing on one thing. It means I don't have to remember the controls every time I go into a different game, which is a bit annoying, all that stuff. But I have been jumping around with quite a few of them, and Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is one of them. Been really enjoying that. Came out on the Switch, probably about a month ago now. But I love it. Great game. And it's just a really good way to enjoy the anime again, actually.
Yeah.
I found I was really craving that anime experience again, and Kakarot's perfect for that. It's probably the best Dragon Ball game to just watch the anime, which is fantastic. I love that. I've also been playing The Witcher. That's a classic one. I think I won't mention that next week and the week after and the week after that, and probably the week after that. It's going to be a long endeavor, that's for sure.
Very long.
And I've actually been playing since we talked about all the online stuff last week. I jumped into The Last of Us Remastered on the PlayStation because that's free for PSN members. So I thought, why not? Naughty Dog, fantastic studio. We were talking about Jack and Daxter. And I had never played The Last of Us. So I thought I probably should give it a crack. And for what is probably an unoriginal storyline, I mean, like zombies, everyone's done it. It's executed really well.
Yeah.
Really, really well.
Yeah,
and then, of course,
I enjoy that.
Yeah, I agree. It's they've done well with Naughty Dog. Yeah, can't speak highly enough of them.
Yeah.
And then Pokemon got released as well. So it was my birthday last week. Laura picked me up Pokemon, both editions. So conveniently, one for Laura. So we've been streaming that on Twitch as well. So I think you've been playing that too. You've been playing Pearl?
I have. I've been playing Pearl, which is awesome because Pearl is what I played back in the day.
Was that your OG Pokemon game?
No, not my OG Pokemon game, but out of I haven't played Diamond before.
Yeah.
Once I got a DS and stuff, I played the Pearl, so it was pretty nice to get back into it. I really like the art style of the new Pokemon games. I'm sure that that's an unpopular opinion, but I think it's cute and it makes me feel happy.
Well, that's what we all play for, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, what more can you ask for? Happiness.
I like it. It's cute. It's cute.
Look, I mean, I'm a fan of chibi art styles. I don't mind it at all. I just feel like it looks a bit cheap.
Yeah, I do prefer the pixel art over
the OGs.
Yeah.
I just thought they could have gone like a Sword and Shield or a Let's Go Pikachu Eevee kind of style.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
I feel Sword and Shield is probably where everything should be moving forward in all the games that they release. I thought Let's Go Pikachu, that actually honestly brought me back into Pokemon. I think I was talking about it last week, is my OG was Pokemon Red until it got stolen. Yeah. I'm still devastated.
Yeah.
But, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee were sort of bringing that original, not exactly the original as it was yellow version, but I also had yellow version once that got released.
Yep.
So for
Great
me,
version.
that brought me back into the world of Pokemon because I haven't played since Silver and Gold. So,
okay. So
really?
Gen 1, Gen 2, and we're in Gen 8 now. So.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Got so much to look forward to.
I like that.
The Let's Go stuff, literally just brought me back in. And
That's
Pokemon
cool.
Sword and Shield secured that. I was literally playing Pokemon Shield last night. Probably should have mentioned
I
that.
love those games. They're so good.
I agree.
I
Cool
got my
Pokemon design.
Shiny Zykian or Zakian, however you say it.
Oh, yeah.
With free at EB Games with the
Because we pre-ordered.
Yeah, with the pre-order of Diamond and Pearl.
I haven't loaded it up yet. I so should though.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about EB Games, guys. No good.
I'm
joking.
It shouldn't be. This was before I pre-ordered it a long time ago before we met Low Grade Gamer.
That's a no word on this podcast.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
No. On that note, though, you do not need to pre-order or purchase any Pokemon game to actually get Shiny Zykian from EB Games. So anybody listening or watching, you can walk in and just ask for the Shiny Zykian code. They are
or Zamazenta, depending on what version you have.
Yes, exactly. They are the official distributor of that. It's actually interesting, and I know I go off topic a lot, and I think that's going to be a theme for these podcasts. But
we'll pull you back in line.
Yeah, thank you. GameStop in the US actually got in trouble with the Pokemon company for telling customers that they had to buy a Pokemon item to receive the shiny Pokemon, which was a big naughty. Pokemon company cracked it, and
you don't want to piss them off.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
No kidding.
Obviously, EB Games towing the line though. There is a way to get it if you're nowhere near an EB Games. There is a way to get it, and if you contact us, I will tell you how to do it. As I'm not going to do it over podcast because I can't remember what the website link is. There is a website link. You can put in your email address. And it gets distributed every Monday.
There you go. Contact the Low Grade Gamer on Instagram through the official website or wherever you can find him, and he will let you know how to get a shiny legendary in Sword and Shield.
Happy days.
Can't go wrong.
No, not really.
So is it just Pokemon you've been playing this week, Laura?
Well, no, I've also been playing the Breath of the Wild DLC.
Oh, yes.
As well, which is really good. I don't know why I waited so long, but I was really missing Breath of the Wilds.
I have a question for you.
Yeah?
How did you go with the sword challenges?
I haven't done the sword challenges yet. I started with the other challenges. So where you have to do the shrines, the 3 shrines, and then redo the beasts. So I've got one left. And I've spent ages going around collecting all of the items and things, the like random chests that they leave all around.
Because you can get Majora's Mask, can't you?
Yeah, I got Majora's Mask. Yeah, it's awesome.
Cool.
It's cool because it makes like some enemies not like just ignore you in the wild.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of
when you're like just walking around minding your own business and then like a swarm of bats, Cyclops bats comes.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
Cyclops.
Definitely.
Yeah, so just put your Majora's Mask on.
What is it? The Lionel Mask, the Bokoblin Mask, and a few others, and then it will stop whichever bad guy or enemies are around you to sort of back off. But I really, and people are going to pay me out about this, I really struggled with the trial of like the Master Sword
I've
trial.
heard that it's really hard. Yeah, people, I've been talking to people on Instagram. They said it's so hard. I'm saving the hardest for last, I guess.
Smart move.
Yeah.
Literally, the first one is really easy. Then I did the second one and I couldn't pass it. So then I started YouTubing the dodgy way to do it. You can no-clip out the thing. And I no-clipped out, nice. But then I got stuck and I couldn't no-clip back in. So I was like, nah, that's it. Put my arms up. And then probably 3 months later, I thought, I'm just going to jump in and try it again. Finished it first go. Both the next 2.
Isn't it funny how that happens?
Sometimes you've just got to take a break.
Yeah.
I literally did it so easy. The next 2, which are meant to be the really hard ones, I just jumped in and went, and I finished them both, and I was like, I've literally tried doing them for like 12 hours, no clipping in for like 4 of those hours, and I did it in like 2 minutes. Like,
nice.
Yep. Sometimes you've just got to take a break. I find that a lot. I'm a musician, and when I'm trying to learn a new riff on the guitar or something, just can't get it. Put it down.
Yeah.
Step away for a day. Come back to it. You'll get it in the first couple.
That helped me a lot in Metroid Dread.
Well. Good segue there, Laura. The topic of today's podcast, the main one, after all that intro stuff, the Game Awards. The Game Awards nominees have been released. There is a little bit of controversy. There's some fantastic games, as always. So we thought we'd hit that up. Dan hasn't actually voted in any of those categories yet. Have you looked at them, Dan?
I've definitely looked at the categories and the games in them. I really wanted to understand, and I know owning a gaming store, I probably should have been more up to it, up with it, I guess, whatever.
Whatever the kids
problem is that there's a lot of stuff going on in the world at the moment, in the business world, in the gaming world. I've completely missed Deathloop. Like, completely missed it. And then, so when I kept seeing Deathloop, like, Deathloop is in, like, almost every category. And I was sitting there going, no idea what this is. Like,
it must be pretty good.
So you never even saw the reveal trailer or anything along those lines?
Honestly, nothing. Nothing to do with Deathloop. Nothing that...
Never even heard of it.
No, nothing that's even in my head. I was even... I mean, everybody here is like, what are you talking about? How have you not heard of Deathloop? Like, how are you not with it? And it's just like, I don't know.
Look,
I missed it.
It happens. It happens.
It does.
Sometimes it just doesn't happen for you. And that's okay. The thing I find annoying about the Game Awards is that you can't skip on certain categories. So for us, a lot of the esports stuff, we don't watch a lot of esports. So there's a best coach or something category. I wish we could skip that, because if you watch our latest YouTube video, we literally just voted for the guy with the nicest eyes.
The ones that were smiling.
we had nothing else.
Well, everyone was like,
yeah.
And then there was this one guy who's smiling. I was like, let's vote for him.
Yeah, we're going to vote for that guy.
He seems like a nice guy.
And I usually don't, like, when it comes to music awards and stuff like that, best songs, all that jazz, if I haven't heard a song, I'll go listen to it before I make my decision on what to vote for.
With a game that's so much harder.
So much difficult. Yeah. Way more difficult to do. Not only is there so many hours in every game, but they can get quite expensive sometimes. And especially if you don't own all the consoles, it gets pretty hard.
Yeah.
So I think that's a little bit of an oversight with the Game Awards.
I think that's a big one.
What else do you do, though?
And not being able to skip. Like, I'm having a look here through them, and one of the ones that really sort of jumped out at me originally for some reason was Best Multiplayer. And you've got Back 4 Blood, Knockout City, It Takes Two, Monster Hunter Rise, New World, and Valheim. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I have never been able to jump onto New World to actually play that.
Yep. No, we haven't played that either.
And I just feel like we're missing the mark a little bit. Like, I've played most of these, and Back 4 Blood would be my pick, and that's what I'll vote for today. I'll vote for Back 4 Blood. But I'd really like to jump on New World for a little, considering how much it had in terms of constructive criticism, I guess you could say, and the critic reviews and all that sort of stuff from before it launched. After it launched, look, there were issues. I get that. And I'm not so much interested in what happened afterwards, because there were server issues and all that sort of stuff. To be honest, I expected that. I expected that when it released. I mean, it's like their first game. Of course they were going to get it wrong. That was
props to them for being so popular and it supposedly being so good.
Yeah.
For their first game, yeah.
That was always going to happen. So it's like you were saying earlier, I'd like to skip this one because I haven't had the chance to play a game that I've personally been wanting to play, because I think it'll be good. And content creator of the year.
Yeah. There's some...
You don't watch
exactly.
that many.
Yeah,
like you find one that you really like, and then that's it. So
some of them are really difficult to vote for.
Yeah, and it's just like I don't feel like I'm giving everything the correct,
the amount of time it deserves, at least.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was
enough.
thinking. Like most anticipated game, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild sequel. 100%.
Right? Yeah. I saw it and I just laughed.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, like, if Tom says anything else, like, there's going to be problems.
No, but I am really looking forward to Horizon.
Yeah.
Really looking
There's going to be trouble in Hyrule if that's the case.
Trouble in Hyrule. I love that.
It is paradise. Well, I think we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves here. Let's talk about the big bad boy in the room, the big elephant for starters. Game of the year. First of all, do you guys agree with this list? Ori?
Do I agree with the list? Well, it seems like a pretty good list to me.
Is there anything you would put in there?
I mean, no, I think I can't think of anything that like jumps out of me that's like, oh, wait, no, that should have been Game of the Year. I mean, I love Monster Hunter Rise, but I don't know if it's like Game of the Year
worthy.
Yeah.
I've heard a few people say Monster Hunter Rise deserves to be in there. It's not.
Maybe just because like I didn't finish the story mode of it. So maybe that's like.
Yeah, that's actually a big one in the office.
Yeah.
Is it Monster Hunter Rise?
I've actually said that. I've been sort of up in the air myself as, again, even though I own the company, I find it really hard to actually sit down and play too many games, especially...
Oh, totally fair. Life gets in the way.
If they're not on Game Pass, I can't just go grab something off the shelf, right?
No, of course.
Nobody wants secondhand gear sent to them. Sorry, guys. I just wanted to give it a go before I sent it.
Yeah. But, quality control, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, quality control.
I don't know if I'm a fan of Metroid Dread, and I'm going to get shot for that.
Okay, yeah. Well,
I really like Metroid Dread. Why didn't you like it?
It's not that I necessarily didn't like it. I just didn't feel Game of the Year. Like, for me, Game of the Year is Zelda Breath of the Wild. You know, like that to me. And when I look at some of these games, and again, I'm probably somebody's watching at me with like the death stare.
I was going to say.
Yeah, pretty much.
Be careful what you say right now.
Some of these games is just like I don't put on that pedestal. I don't put on the podium with Breath of the Wild. And I think
yes, that's true. Yeah,
I'm only using Breath of the Wild as an example, though. Like, there's plenty of other good games. Don't get me wrong, but Breath of the Wild's the one that I think is just unanimously Breath of the Wild. Everybody knows Breath of the Wild is a good game. Anybody who disagrees is generally in the niche.
Yeah,
or wrong. I was trying to be politically correct, but yeah, they're wrong. They are, and I think Deathloop again. I know I'm bringing it up again, but I don't know. It never even crossed my desk.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe that says something about it.
Well, yeah, I guess it does, because it's not like one of the other ones, like Valheim, for example, how everyone was, or New World as well, like that everyone's heard so much about, there's like so much hype about, but I guess Deathloop didn't have exactly the same amount of hype for it to not cross your horizon.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, every other game, it's in my head and I know. But Deathloop, to get in so many different categories, just blows my mind that I haven't been a part of it. I mean, best narrative it got, best art direction, best score and music, best audio design, best game
we
direction.
never played Deathloop. We heard about it, of course. I think it was in a PlayStation reveal.
Yeah, it was in one of those reveals.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So it was hyped and stuff. It's just not for us, and that's okay. Laura's not a huge fan of roguelikes. I'm not a huge fan of first-person shooters. So, and it's just a roguelike FPS, and that's okay. That's okay. Not everybody has to enjoy every type of game. So, I guess don't worry about it, Dan. We're kind of all in that haven't played it, don't know too much about it kind of category.
I sort of feel bad.
Yeah, maybe
it's like, maybe I've missed something.
Someone should get in contact with us and let us know if it is deserving of this Game of the Year title. Because just because it's not for us doesn't mean it's not Game of the Year. Maybe it is.
Well, it got into so many categories, so
it has to be at least worth a shot. But we will bring that up later because I have an interesting point about that point you just made.
Okay.
I think Forza should have been nominated for Game of the Year, simply because it's the best looking game of all time. Potentially. Maybe I think so. It's up there.
I think it looks fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I have been playing it a lot. I think it looks fantastic, even through cloud gaming. Like, because that's how I've been playing it at the moment. Is through cloud gaming, and it looks fantastic. It does. I think the problem with Forza Horizon, and I have seen this floating around, and even in the office, it's been brought up a few times. It's too easy to get cars. And good cars.
Okay.
So I don't feel like I've got 7 cars now, like Porsche, Camaros, a whole bunch of cars. And I'm literally sitting there going, I don't feel like I earned any of these cars.
Okay.
Which sounds really weird, but it just feels like I went round a circle and I got the car.
And then you got it. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you need to have the challenge.
Yeah, see, one man's trash is another man's treasure because I kind of like that. I think it's because I'm not the greatest at racing games. So, like, I don't know, like if they're pumping content at me, then cool. Like, I'm all for that, especially if they're good cars. And I mean, look, even if they're not good cars, if I just like them, like the Camaro, I mean, Top Gear, don't think that that's the greatest car of all time, but do you know what I'm saying? So I enjoyed that element to it, but again, each to their own. There's absolutely nothing.
100%. I feel for those who like literally have simulator setups, because that's something that we have soft launched recently in terms of our products that we've been putting out there with some of our sort of tier 3 customers. And that's part of our rewards program. For those that don't know, we have different tiers, but those customers in particular, we've soft launched some simulators and steering wheel and all that sort of stuff. And the feedback from them has been very, yes, I want the cars, but at the same time, they've invested X amount of dollars, sometimes a couple of grand, into a simulator system, or they've actually designed their own. We got customers where they've literally gone out, bought some particle board and other stuff from Bunnings, or Hammer Barn, as I call it, for those who have young children and watch Bluey. Hammer Barn.
Haven't seen it, but sure someone will get it.
Anybody who's got a toddler will get that. But that's one of the big things I think they've missed with their core demographic, with the hardcore people that really, really want to earn their status. And I mean, look, there are so many aspects of that game that are awesome. Even the auction system is really cool. I like the auction system, even though I don't know if you've noticed, some of the cars are going for significantly more than what they actually retail for. So that part there doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's the nature of an auction, isn't it?
Yeah, but if people want to pay that much, then cool. There's no cap on it. That makes sense. I like that aspect as well. Do your research. You're on front of the game. It takes you 2 seconds to look it up. If you pay too much, you pay too much, because that's also been a criticism, which I disagree with. I think if you've paid it, you've paid it. Like that's
100%.
If you want to, then
let's be honest,
I always do that in auctions. I always get carried away in auctions, and then it just becomes that I want to win. That's why I don't do auctions.
Just have to beat the next
If it doesn't have a buy it now button, I'm just like, I better just leave it, because I end up just spending way too much.
So at a house auction, you'd be like the real estate agent's best friend.
Yeah, I would
600,000. We're only at 200. 600. All the money.
That would be me.
So, Dan, what do you think is Game of the Year out of these options that we've got here? For those who haven't heard, we've got Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, very cool inclusion there. Just put that in. Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village.
I'm actually at Ratchet and Clank, personally.
I agree. You can go watch all of Laura and my picks on our YouTube channel, so we won't get too much into our choices today. Just the discussion, and we thought Dan should probably vote, so we pressured him into doing that. Live on the podcast. He was a bit hesitant. Yeah, but he's here, so good on you for doing it, sir.
The only reason I'm hesitant is because I have a very analytical brain, if that makes sense. So for me, I want to analyze what all the games are, and I want to do a fair comparison, which realistically, I mean, it's Game of the Year awards. Let's not get
it's not super fair
away. Yeah. But I do that. That's my thing. I've literally just selected Ratchet and Clank now.
Ratchet, Clank, beautiful. I was going to say, I don't know if we have time to get into all of them in the half an hour or so we have remaining. Best game direction is next. Is that next on your screen, sir?
Yes. So I think best game direction for me, again, it's hard because some of these I haven't played, but I'd probably go Ratchet and Clank again.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
I think I have sort of, while Ratchet and Clank isn't as good as Jak and Daxter, I still feel like I have a slight affinity to that.
Fair enough. Yeah, nostalgia goes a long way when it comes to video games, I noticed.
100%.
Sure.
So totally fair
enough.
Well,
games are all like, based on your personal experiences.
Absolutely. Whether they be past or current.
Yeah.
100%. Best narrative. I thought this
one. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Really? Okay. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Has a great story. Absolutely.
I enjoyed it.
Big, yeah, just a big story, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
We went for a more closer to home story with that one. Best art direction. Now, Dan, have you played Kena Bridge of Spirits?
I was literally just about to say I'm picking Kena anyway.
Yeah. I was pretty surprised with this category because I can't remember what's been nominated in past years, but I just felt, knowing the Game Awards and their history, that they would go with these hyper-realistic games, like going on that direction. Mm-hmm. But looking at these, Deathloop is the only one that comes close to that. Like Kena, Psychonauts, and Ratchet and Clank, they're all cartoony, got their roots in that like PlayStation 2 era, you know what I mean? And I personally love that.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really good change, I guess, or difference.
100%. I think I'm really happy with the nominees there. Anyone could win that. I'm totally not upset about any of the nominees. Oh, this category, hey? Now, Laura mentioned before that Deathloop is nominated in so many categories, so surely it must be a good game and is worth checking out. You know what's also nominated in multiple categories, Laura?
I do.
Cyberpunk 2077.
I will say, right, I have my issues with Cyberpunk. I absolutely have my issues. I've spoken about it. We've spoken about it even before we even started recording today.
You did.
Like, come on, Roland. But, hashtag where's Roland? But I'm actually going to go with Cyberpunk here. I think the music, yeah, they've done a great job. It really brought me back to Vice City. For some reason, it really brought me back to Vice City. I thought the score and the music and Cyberpunk is a fantastic game if they got it right. They didn't.
Yeah.
But if they'd got it right, it is a fantastic game. The story at the start is a little bit slow, but I think overall where it starts and where it comes from, even the side quests are really, really engaging, and the music really brings that in. Now, I've got sort of spatial audio and all that sort. I don't understand it. Tom would understand that stuff better than me. Yep. I just know I press buttons and things. I turn my head and noises are made. Excellent. I just thought Cyberpunk did a good job.
Fair enough.
Nice.
Fair enough. Better than the classic Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that will cause a lot of controversy for us, even in our YouTube video as well. I just think it's unfair to nominate a game such as Cyberpunk for anything. I mean, I know CD Projekt Red, massive studio, a lot of people under them. I don't know. I just feel like the Game Awards are almost sucking up to the man. Anyone seen School of Rock? Stick it to the man.
I see that. I sort of see that, and I understand where you're coming from there. At the same time, what really gets me is the developers never wanted it released at the time that it was released. Everybody knows that.
It was a big thing.
The company pushed for it.
And, shareholders and all that sort of stuff. I've worked for banks. I understand how shareholders work and how much that pushes the agenda. I think what they did with the game, and while it is not finished, it is a good game. And it isn't finished, regardless of what anybody wants to say. There is countless people on Reddit, as an example, that cannot finish Roland's Butcher. Where are you, Roland?
And that's only one of the many problems it's got.
Yes.
Yeah, there's just one example.
At the moment, as an example, I'm literally, if I had epilepsy, I would have a problem at the moment. There are sections of it that seem to just keep, and it never happened until now, but there are sections of it where the game is literally flashing at 1,000,000 miles an hour, just random patches, usually where there's blood, it'll just start flashing, or the blood will just look like a red circle on the ground.
Yeah.
So, but the music is good. Plain simple.
Fair enough. Cool. Yeah.
There you go.
Nothing wrong with that. I really hope it doesn't win, but that's just my personal. Best audio design.
Forza.
Yeah, see, I looked at Forza and went, cars go vroom.
Yeah, but they do it at perfect intervals. Like I'm a big car person and bike person. And
see, we're not. We drive, our car's falling apart. It leaks from the windscreen. My driver's side door doesn't open. There's no police listening.
I have to go outside of the car and open up his door for him because
I feel like a kid every time I get out of the car.
His child lock's on.
No, there's no child lock. We checked that.
I did suggest that.
But no, I'm a very, very big car person.
Fair enough.
I've got a V8, and I'm going to say I got a V8 because I'm really proud that I got a V8. I've been wanting one for a long time.
Nothing wrong with that. What type of car is it?
It's a Holden Calais, a VE
Okay.
V8.
Yep. I actually know what that is. Laura doesn't.
No, I've got no idea. I nodded and agreed, though.
Well, I do also have a motorbike. I've got a Harley Davidson. Everybody knows what that is. So, again,
sick.
something that I worked really hard to get, and I actually bought partly damaged, and I actually had to fix it up. So I'm heavily into cars, not as heavy as some people, but I'm there. And I think the way they do deceleration, the way they change gears, everything is so audible through Forza. They've done such a good job. Even when you tune the car and tune the revs to different intervals, it's still, you can hear it do it at that interval and it sounds right. And people who are into cars who are listening to this will understand exactly what I'm saying. When you hear a car rev incorrectly, you can hear it, and it is like a siren that is killing you, because you know that it's valve bouncing or something. Mm-hmm. A piston's going to shoot through the engine block, which actually happened to a friend of mine. His piston went straight through the engine block. He called me up and he goes, "Hey, this big chunk of metal in my hand. Can I video call you and ask what it is?"
Yeah, even Laura knows that that's bad.
Yeah.
That wasn't good. But it's all those things that Forza just did really well, and that's 100% best audio design. I would say they've done that really well in the 6 hours that I've played.
Great.
Nothing wrong with that. More than happy. Yeah, see, I just hear a car and it goes vroom, and I'm like, yeah, that's nice.
There's nuance behind the vrooms.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's more to vrooms than I realized.
Yeah.
many things to the vrooms.
Yeah. Many types of vrooms.
So, best performance is next on this list.
You are correct.
Very hard for me because I haven't played Resident Evil Village, but I have a friend who is a streamer that plays it quite a lot, and I watch that as I'm a mod on their channel, so I do jump on, help them out from time to time. They're in the US, so I sort of do
They've had experience with the game at least.
So I do watch it. So I'm actually going to pick Maggie Robertson because I think she did a really good job.
The lady is iconic already.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, it's hard in terms of Deathloop because I don't know. Every time it comes up, I just keep saying I don't know because I just don't. I also think, and I'm going to say this wrong, Giancarlo I thought was good as well. Everybody was good except Deathloop, only because I don't know. But everybody else was quite good on this. But I just from my exposure, I'm going to go Maggie Robertson. I thought she did a really good job.
Fair enough. I like that all of these characters that are nominated for best performance seem to, as I said with Lady, I call her the Lady because I can't pronounce the last name, but they're all iconic already, and it hasn't been long. Good, so they're all done. They all deserve it, basically. Okay, this next category is something we personally struggled with. How do you feel about this one, Dan?
Games for impact.
Mm-hmm.
Silence is all.
Yeah, I've only played Life is Strange.
Yeah. We haven't. Oh, I'm sorry. I think Laura, you heard about
Boyfriend Dungeon.
What did you hear about it?
Oh, is that where you put Tom in the dungeon? Is this just a quick one? Have either of you seen You on Netflix?
No. Oh wait, is that about the stalker?
Yeah, he's a little bit of a stalker. Yeah, he sometimes he puts people in rooms, and spoiler alert, sometimes he puts people in rooms just because he needs to before he accidentally kills them. But Lord, that could be you doing it to Tom.
It could
if
be.
Boyfriend Dungeon.
More good ideas.
Tom, to
Good
me,
idea.
there's red sirens and alerts going off. That's the first thing.
Don't tempt me.
Be recognised.
Well, I'm glad you two are having fun.
Run, my friend, run.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, I saw something that somebody had written about Boyfriend Dungeon on Instagram. And it started off with them like saying that they hadn't been playing the game for very long and they'd already accidentally flirted with their cousin.
Oh.
Yeah, and then it mentioned something about like
Go on.
Do you know you can do that in Cyberpunk too? Not cousin, but
really?
you can accidentally, like, sometimes you feel like you need to be nice in a circumstance, and then it turns out you were actually hitting on somebody. Now, I'm straight. That's just me. I don't care what you are, but I'm straight.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of times where you've tried to say something nice to a character in Cyberpunk because he's just gone through something traumatic. If anybody's listening, Rivers is the person I'm thinking of. And then it's like, lean in for a kiss. And I was like,
huh?
All I said was, I'm glad your nephew didn't die. Like,
taking advantage.
What a great segue that is.
Why are we hooking up? Like, you know,
Rivers.
Whatever you want to do is your thing. But for me, it was just like, that was.
Don't take advantage of Rivers, everybody. He's just been through a traumatic experience. It's not the time for hooking up.
Yes.
Not when Rivers is so vulnerable.
Sorry, Laurie, go on. I interjected there.
That's okay, because I've been trying to remember like the exact word that I'm looking for. It like starts with an M.
Tom seems to be good at finishing our sentences, to be honest. Every time I can't think of a word, I just look at Tom.
When you're like trying to twist somebody else's like opinion, it starts with an M.
Oh, dude. Oh, now everyone's looking at me and I don't freaking know. You're just trying to... What?
I think it's on the same lines of taking advantage of.
Yeah.
But I haven't actually like spent a lot of time with Boyfriend Dungeon, so I can't confirm or deny but that's what somebody else had said about it.
Okay.
So
yeah, and as for the other games,
is the theme. So probably not a game for me.
Cousins are the theme here.
Yeah, my cousins are all very nice people, but that's not really my.
Yes, flow. I agree. Yeah, not into that.
I'm going to go with Life is Strange. That's
good choice.
Good choice. Yeah, I agree with that.
Best ongoing. I'm excited for this one, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah, I think I know what your pick's going to be.
I actually thought of Dan when we were looking at this one.
Mm-hmm.
So I was picking. That's the thing. I'm not actually sure. I know you're a big Apex fan, so if you don't pick that, I would like to know why. So go on.
I will be picking Apex, to be honest, and there's multiple reasons why that is. I think Apex is the perfect blend of Fortnite and Warzone. I think
there you go.
Each character you are completely changes your game style, and I like the fact that you can't just pick the same character as everybody else, and the three of you all need to work in conjunction to actually win. Now, I have won plenty of rounds of Apex because I'm the best. No, only because, and it's not because I'm actually good at the game, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm good at any games. I need my Elite Series 2 controller. If I do not have that, I am next to useless. I need that controller. But if you have a couple of people who were even just okay or just at your level, you can actually win Apex quite easily if you're good at communication. I think that out of all the games that are, Warzone, Fortnite style games, those Battle Royale, Halo Infinite, actually, I've just said something.
That's not nominated, so it's a whole different kettle of fish.
No, but what I mean those Battle Royale games.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, I think Apex is the only one where you really, really need that contact, but Halo Infinite is
okay.
If you do not
we
have,
haven't had a chance to jump on that yet.
Yeah, if you don't have somebody on your team on Halo Infinite who you speak to, I think it can cause some issues if you're doing like Battle for the Flag and all those sorts of things. I think some people are too excited at the moment by Halo Infinite, so they're just jumping into random matches and not following the objectives, which I hate.
Okay, yeah.
I'm getting off topic again, as I do. Somebody needs to rein me in. Tom, come on, mate. Apex Legends is definitely going to be my pick. Like I said, I like it because you can play so well with people. Even like I was playing with a kid the other day. He was 8 years old, and
nice.
Yeah, he was a cool little dude, and he just gotten off Fortnite because I actually spoke to his dad a little bit. He was getting attacked a bit on Fortnite because he wasn't the best player. I mean, he's 8 years old. Relax. So struggled a little bit on Fortnite. You know, I mean, I'm too old for Fortnite. What am I building things for? Like, relax. Yeah, I just want to shoot things. So he moved over to Apex. Now, Apex is probably a little bit more M-rated than Fortnite, but at the same time, I don't think it's that bad. I think Apex is okay, especially compared to Warzone. But I think, Cyberpunk, like some of the stuff you see in there, that would traumatize children.
Games get gnarly these days.
Yeah, especially when there's like a glitch in Cyberpunk and half the body is stuck in a building. That's funny.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a bit
even more intense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he was getting a bit called out on Fortnite, but him playing Apex, he was fantastic. Like, he used all the characters' skills to help the team the whole time. Like, that was his focus is, okay, I'm not the quickest at shooting or I'm not the best at this, but I can use character X to, I can't remember her name now, Lifeline.
Okay.
Like, Lifeline heals people and does all that sort of stuff. So he was so on that it actually got us to win. Like, without him, we wouldn't have won.
Oh, nice.
So dedicated to sort of running and helping us. And like, he would go out of his way. Like, he died a couple of times and we had to bring him back. But
that's okay.
The only reason we won is because he was so dedicated to getting over to us and throwing out healing stuff. And even the other guy that we were actually playing with, he actually sent us both requests afterwards to party up. Because he was
nice.
You know, you were both really, really good. And I was speaking to the kid's dad because he didn't want his son attacked over thing again. So he was just like, look, I just want to talk to you first and understand who you are. I was like, you can actually jump on and do parental controls. Like, I can help you do that if you want to jump in and do the parental control stuff. So, but that's why I massive Apex fan, because you don't need to be really, really good at the game to actually win. You can just be really smart with the way you use your character's skills, because they're all so different. Like, I'm a huge fan of Loba. I think Loba is awesome. She can basically chuck out a black market where you can get every gun that's around in the corners, sort of thing. So you don't need to go hunting the whole time. And again,
that's good.
Refreshing.
Rein me in, Tom. You just need to swing.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to interject and say quickly that isn't that one of the best things about gaming is that Dan over here, who's approaching 30 or something around that 32. Age. 32. Yeah. Oh, you shouldn't have said that. Approaching 30 sounds better. Is able to play the same game as an 8-year-old and then to both have such a good time. That's gaming, man. It brings people together. It really does.
Yeah.
We should probably speed this up though. Let's move on. Next category.
Yes, best indie.
I'm gonna go with Bridge of Spirits.
Fair enough.
Nice.
We played I personally played a lot of indies this year that probably deserve to be in here that aren't.
This is why I don't like the indie category, and I've never liked the Game of the Year indie category because I don't feel it is comprehensive enough for some of the indies that definitely deserve to be nominated. I feel it misses a lot of them, which is always going to happen because it's an indie.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. For every AAA title, there's 20 indies that are released at least. You know, there's so many of them. So I get that it's hard, but there's some that deserve to be in there that aren't, unfortunately.
100%. Best mobile game, Pokemon Unite.
Yeah, are you a big mobile gamer, Den?
No, I'm not. I don't. I've got an Xbox. Like, for me, mobile gaming.
I just want to say that there's nothing wrong with being a mobile gamer. We were discussing this on Twitch not long ago. If all you want to play is Candy Crush on your phone and you identify as a gamer, hell yeah. Like, good on you. Go for it. There's nothing defines a gamer. Do you play games? Yes. There you go. Done. It doesn't matter if it's Candy Crush on your phone. That's more than fine.
100%. I just, I have an Xbox for a reason. That's sort of the games I prefer to play. And I also actually like Pokemon Unite on the Switch. So that's
me too.
That's what we based it on.
Yeah.
And Genshin Impact we play on the PC. So
still waiting for that to come to the Switch.
I play it on both. My daughter actually plays Pokemon Unite with me on my phone. So
nice.
Yeah,
it's a great game. Really rate Pokemon Unite. One of the best
choice.
3 games out there.
Good choice.
I think they've done a really good job.
I agree.
Definitely. Super fun.
Best community support. This is an easy one.
Okay.
What did you pick? What did you pick?
We picked Final Fantasy Online.
Okay, you're all wrong.
I think so. I think that's what we picked.
It was hard for us because we don't like the tagline here says recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates and patches. Haven't spent a whole lot of time with any of these games. Played them, but not, a lot. Don't follow them on social media. Don't really follow the patches and the updates. So it was pretty hard for us. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, this is honestly an easy one for me. Destiny 2.
Oh, nice.
Oh, well, I thought you were going to choose Apex.
No, by far, I think the community around it in general is a lot more supportive, and you'll find there is a lot of people that want to help because of how complicating Destiny 2 is. It is not a game that you'll just sit down and play and understand immediately. There is
it's not a pick up and play.
No, there's so many different levels and sections and other bits and pieces that you're really the community helped me a lot when I first started playing. Now I don't need the community as much, but
it's there if you need.
Yeah, 100%. And getting started, Destiny 2 so far has been the easiest, I guess, to get answers from general community, from Bungie, like all of that sort of stuff. I will also say a game that obviously is not on there that I think potentially could be is Halo Infinite. Now,
I think that came out just after the nominees were announced.
Yeah,
so maybe next year.
But I was on the flight and the beta testing. I was actually beta testing the app as well. So part of that was real community engagement and other bits and pieces. Nice. And that was really heavy. That was really heavy. A lot of people were actually interacting with the forum, and forums are dead, right? Reddit is the only.
Yeah, it is. Fairly worthwhile.
That is still active. Destiny 2's is really active. But in terms of that, I would definitely say Halo Infinite next year would be on this list. That's my prediction. So everybody can hold me to that.
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
will. Yeah, this time next year, we'll come back.
Innovation in accessibility.
Yeah, we had a bit of a not an argument, but just a discussion about
Bit of an
how
argument.
this one's worded.
That's why the dungeon came across.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was already thinking about it before you mentioned it.
Yeah.
So my question in accessibility is this something that is for everyone? So is it something that you could play with your daughter, Dan? Or does it mean accessibility as in more people have access to it with something like Games Pass on day one? That was my confusion almost.
Yeah, I actually, one of the first things I thought was disabilities.
Oh, that's a whole nother one. Yeah, I like that. Great. Yep.
So that was probably one of the first things that actually popped into my head is, are they talking about, the gamers that, that do have some sort of disability? Is it easier for them to play, et cetera, et cetera? That's the first thing that came into my head.
I like that. So nice first thoughts I have.
I don't know what they mean though.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
It's an open question, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but yeah, I'm not really sure. What do you think? How do you take this question, Dan?
I don't know, but what I am going to do is take it as what is easily accessible. That's what I'm going to go with. And for me, it's a little bit hard from the point of view that I do have access to cloud gaming and not everybody does.
Yes.
So I am going to say Forza.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Because it is available for cloud gaming. It is on Game Pass from day one.
Yep.
And that's what I'm going to base it off. And if it is based off disability stuff, I apologize for getting that wrong. But at the same time, I don't have any that would, I don't have a disability that would count towards any of this sort of stuff. So I wouldn't
feel, you don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel comfortable making that.
Of course, the assumptions. Yeah. No, fair enough.
So what's next on this list?
Best VR/AR.
Okay.
Do you have VR?
VR have you guys played?
Zilch.
Fat zero.
Sadly, but truly zero.
I've played, what's the Facebook one? Is that the Oculus?
Oculus is the most popular from my knowledge. Maybe it's probably Facebook, let's be honest.
So I've played PlayStation VR, Oculus, and the HTC. So I have been on all of those.
Lucky.
Yes. It's only because everybody around me is tech obsessed, so I've never had to purchase one.
Ooh, that must be nice.
Yes. So, but I've never played any of these.
Okay, so this is where it comes into. I wanted to be able to skip.
Oh, actually, I have.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4.
Nice. I've seen a video of someone playing that.
I played that and I enjoyed that.
There you go.
There's the vote. We voted for that because it's the one we would choose in a store if they were all available. We would choose Resident Evil 4 to play first.
I think that's a fair assessment. I thought it was good. My sister's actually got it, so that's
nice.
That's why I've used it a bit. And
yeah, nice.
I think that's a decent one to jump on. Now, moving along to best action game.
Here we drop into genres of games.
Yes. Again, I never played Deathloop. I'm going to keep saying that so that way people don't crucify me. I really enjoyed Back 4 Blood. Now, I know it's another, survivalist and that sort of style, I guess you could say, zombies and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But I thought they did it pretty well.
Hey, no, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a good game.
Yeah, I playing the beta was quite fun. I enjoyed it.
Yep. Yeah, we know a lot of people that got involved in the beta.
Yeah. Best actions. And actually, Back for Blood, I think actually did beta the best out of every beta that I've ever been on.
Okay.
It was
there you
just...
go. Props to them.
Yeah, it was just available. Do you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a closed... Like, Halo was very... I enjoyed being on the beta. Please don't take that away from me in the future. I enjoyed being on the beta. I thought they did a fantastic job. The problem was the second round, they literally had times you could go on. So the first time it was, okay, you've got between Friday and Monday to play. Okay, cool. The second time they did it, it was, okay, you can play between 10 o'clock and 3 o'clock. But it's all US.
Yeah.
So,
that's weird.
Yeah. So
why?
I don't know why they did that the second time. Whereas Back for Blood was like, pew, go for gold. It's a beta, guys, so relax, but go for gold. Mm-hmm. And I I thought that was a little bit more inclusive.
Yeah, totally.
Maybe they should have been in the inclusive category.
Yeah, true.
Accessibility. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was quite comfortable with that. So anyway, again. I go on a bit. So if we're looking at best action /
best action adventure, this is interesting because we look at this Marvel's Guardian of the Galaxy. Yep, action adventure, fair enough. Metroid Dread is literally like the genre of game is named after the series. It's a Metroidvania game. Psychonauts 2 is a platformer. Ratchet and Clank is a platforming shooter. And Resident Evil Village is a horror game. Okay, it's got more action elements than past Resident Evils, but it's a horror game. What the hell is an action adventure game? Anyone?
Ratchet and Clank.
Yes. Fair enough. Yeah, I just don't get it. It seems like a very broad.
Yeah,
it is broad. Yeah, it's a broad one for sure. That's why all of the nominees are encompassing such a wide, because it also says combining combat and traversal and puzzle solving. So it's like so broad.
Okay, yeah, I didn't notice that it said that.
Just read the first part.
Yeah, action adventure. I don't know. I'm big into like genres of music and stuff, and I don't know. I've had arguments with people about said things before.
So, best role playing. Again, this is going to be so controversial.
There it is again.
There it is.
I am going to pick Cyberpunk.
What?
I'm so shocked about.
I'm ashamed.
It's a good
because you don't even know what the rest of the story's like.
Well, guys,
it's good so far.
We might not be doing the podcast next week. We might have gone over to Dan's house and
statement redacted for censorship purposes.
Well, that's intense.
I know. Yeah, sorry, I got real dark for a second there.
Yeah, I'm going to be in the dungeon. It's a good game. If everything worked, the role playing aspect of I know, but and I'm thinking,
but it doesn't.
But it's not Game of the Year. It's the RPG section of the.
Yes. If it was Game of the Year, no, because it's not a game.
But it's RPG of the year.
It's not. Yeah, so it's like that's the thing about this game that it's being judged on in this category is the RPG element, not like the whole thing in general.
If it was the whole game,
finish the story.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah.
Although if you're on a PC, you can do a glitch to make it work. So, people are thinking outside the box as a community. Doesn't work on Xbox. But to be honest, the game is really addictive and the story elements are really good. And they think they've sort of thought of everything. Now, I'm going to say something that's going to sound a little bit weird, but at the start of the game, when you create your character, you actually create their junk.
Oh, okay. That's
you can choose the size. Is it like extra large, or is it really like down to the inch?
No, it's not down to the inch, but it's like large or not so much.
Extra large.
So
I love character customization.
I do too. I think it's fantastic. I mean, I think they should have probably focused more on, being able to finish the game than the guy's junk. But
Yeah.
I thought it was
Priorities.
I just thought it was so funny though.
It's awesome.
Just really weird, and it's very confronting when you first see it. I was literally just going out. I was like, "Why is that in my face? Why am I this close to the screen?"
What did you choose?
I chose large.
Yeah,
Nice.
I was going to say, is there even a choice? Like, who wouldn't choose large?
Well,
I mean, what male wouldn't choose large?
I don't know. Well, maybe people were wanting it to be a bit more realistic.
Yeah, extra large.
Yeah. You can run around with no pants on though, and that's why I thought it was so funny. It's just...
Oh,
That's
okay,
awesome.
that makes sense. I guess if you're going to see it, you might as well customize it, eh?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, if Cyberpunk 2077 wins the Game Awards, because we will talk about it again once it has been televised.
So I think it's the 9th.
If it wins, we're just going to have another argument. That's all.
Well, it does say rich player customization, and how much richer can you get?
I would actually be interested to see the female. I don't want to see it, but do you know what I mean?
How they go about customizing that.
Like, what are they doing there? Because you can actually.
I'm intrigued now. I kind of want to play it
you
on
can
the
pick to have
PC.
nothing. Yeah, jump on PC, but you can pick to have nothing. That's also
Okay.
an option.
Nice.
I like that too. Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's
that's cool.
inclusive as well.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. That's cool.
So-
Well, now that's the most controversial one, I think. That's for sure. An interesting choice because Dan's been hating on Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I didn't think that you would be
Yeah.
choosing Cyberpunk for both of
For
those
both
things.
categories.
But yeah, I like that's what people were saying on our YouTube video as well, that it's not up for Game of the Year. It's up for certain aspects of the game, and that's what they're judging it on in those categories.
I just think Shin Megami Tensei does the role-playing elements better. But again, each to their own. Nothing wrong with an opinion. Not shitting on your opinion.
They've just done such a good job of the story.
Yeah.
I feel.
Fair enough.
And it's so immersive. Like, there are parts of the game where your character literally, because he's going through a bit of a thing, and there's actually parts of the game where he literally stumbles and falls, and you feel like that is happening to you at some points.
Okay. So quite immersive as well.
Yeah, and that's why I've sort of, even the cars, they've done a good job of the car. I mean, you can't earn money very quickly, and that I dislike. But even the cars and the way you drive them, and the fact that some are all-wheel drive, some are rear-wheel drive, some are front-wheel drive. You can scan each car to work out what horsepower it is as well.
It'd just be nice if they didn't pop in and out all the time.
Actually, one of my cars at the moment, it just keeps appearing damaged. It's
See?
broken. It just rocks up broken every time. There's no doors on it or anything.
Funny guys.
But it really feels like they got the all-wheel drive, the rear-wheel drive, front-wheel drive stuff done really well as well. And even the motorbikes are really cool.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
You know,
Yeah,
you can
look, I mean,
stack
look,
it on them pretty hard, which is
There's
fun.
plenty of people that love Cyberpunk. So, yeah, again, gaming is such a personal experience.
Mhm.
So even if with glitches you love it, there's nothing wrong with that. You love it. That's fine.
I just honestly really want to finish it, and I can't do that until 2022.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
disappointing. So the next category is actually was a personal vote for us, actually, because it's not necessarily the best fighting game that we voted for, but it's the one we enjoyed the most and that we spent the most time with. So we voted for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl in this one because it was just a ton of fun.
It was so much fun. Nigel Thornberry.
versus Cat Dog.
Actually, yeah, I'm picking the same one.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I thought they did a really good job.
I agree.
I don't know if this has happened because I haven't played it in a while. I played it when it first came out.
Yep.
Goku's coming.
Oh,
very cool.
Does Nickelodeon have the rights to Dragon Ball now?
I don't know. I just heard that Goku was potentially coming.
And we heard Goku was
awesome.
coming to Smash. I think people just want Goku and everything.
People really want Goku.
Give me Cell. Give me Cell.
So? Frieza's a much better bad guy.
Oh, okay. We're gonna have to make a whole podcast about who our favorite
Next
Dragon
week's
Ball villain is.
podcast.
Next podcast is Dragon Ball.
I'm so down for that. Oh, here's a good category for you, Dan, because
best
you actually have one of these. Our family is us and our cat.
Our cat we haven't trained it how to play games yet. I'm working on it.
He's not the best at video games.
That's disappointing.
I know, right?
Yeah.
We'll get there.
He'd be good at Fruit Ninja, I reckon. Start him on Fruit
Plenty of
Ninja.
cats that are good at Fruit Ninja. That's what's funny.
Yeah, right?
I think
this
one's pretty easy for me because there's only one that my daughter really sort of gravitates towards. I mean, Mario Kart is her favorite, right? Like,
yes,
Mario Kart is a favorite.
Out this year, that's all.
She's even got me to 3D print steering wheels for.
Oh, that is freaking awesome, dude!
Her Switch controller. So we've actually
epic.
Cool. Yeah, some of the third-party steering wheels for the Switch aren't that great.
No, we bought some and
they don't work.
They suck.
Yeah.
Nah.
I'll
3D print one for you guys.
Oh, I love
epic.
that would be amazing. It's gonna have to be two though.
The Wii ones.
We will fight.
Yeah.
Hold on. What colors have I got? I got purple, white.
Yep.
Black.
I'll have a purple.
Silky pink.
Ooh.
And red. Now, to be honest, the silky pink is really hard to print, but it came out okay because that's what my daughter wanted.
Yeah,
silky
I could
pink.
have guessed that. Can you guess what color I would like?
Reckon
silky
going with yellow.
Yes.
I can do yours in purple, 100%. I'm actually going to print the gaming fist, the Low Grade Gamer gaming fist at some point.
That is very cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out how the hell to do that. I'm not that good. I know how to press the print button and make stuff happen.
And 3D,
I will print you a purple one, Tom. And Laura, what color are you wanting?
Oh.
Don't make him do pink again.
No, I won't make you do pink again. Maybe black. I like black.
Yeah, nice, safe option.
I like, it's a nice color.
Done.
Sorry, we got a bit off topic there. What's the game that your daughter loves to
Mario
play?
Party.
Yeah, nice.
It is a fantastic game.
Yeah. Mario Party is
really
definitely
cool. And
the one.
Did you play the 64 games when you were younger?
Yeah, 100%.
Would that be
played
cool?
That with 4 of us pretty much all the time. My cousins my cousin and my best mate actually lived 2 doors down. So
nice.
Yeah, we'd literally have 8 people there wanting to play it. So
cool.
It was just like that revolving. Okay, there's a team of 2.
Yeah, rotation.
And each person got to go. So we were pretty heavy.
That'd be a cool experience to be able to share those games with your daughter now.
Yeah, it's good fun. It's definitely good fun. The GameCube was big as well when we were doing that sort of stuff. So I was
nice.
Pretty into it.
It's pretty fun.
Next one, best sim/strategy game. This is an easy one for me. I do not like Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Fair enough.
Okay.
That's okay. I mean, it's
Fair
not
enough.
for everyone. There's no fun in it.
It's just a little bit boring for me. I like a little bit more action. And again, I think nostalgia actually hits me a little bit here. Age of Empires is what I'm going to go with.
Yeah, I was mentioning it when we were voting. I was like, remember getting the games in your cereal box?
Yeah, I was just thinking
it was so good.
Cornflakes. Yeah.
They don't give you anything in your cereal anymore.
Kellogg's,
just cereal.
Where the hell are our games?
Where's Forza and my cornflakes?
That's what we should do. We should do a cereal and just put a game in there.
Absolutely.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
I got to write that down. That's on the list.
Yeah.
Now, best sports/racing. This is a little bit hard, only because I really enjoy soccer.
Okay, fair enough.
Or football.
I was going to say that, yes.
Yeah.
For the rest of the world.
I really enjoy football. I just don't know if I like FIFA 22 that much. I really, I don't know. I'm still stuck in 2010. I really like 2010 and I really like 2019. I don't know what it is about them. Forza, definitely. I mean, the only reason I'm trying to lean towards FIFA is because I really like soccer.
Yeah.
Riders Republic, I didn't really enjoy it that much. Hot Wheels Unleashed, cash grab.
It's fine.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that. F1, I'm a massive fan of F1, but I just feel Forza did a better job.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be, doesn't it?
Best multiplayer.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. Is there any that I guess they're all a bit violent to play with your daughter or a bit full on, so that might not be possible.
Yeah, no, she liked Back for Blood. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Parent of the year over here.
Yeah. Look, Back for Blood's going to be my choice, mainly because that's the one that I enjoyed to play. I'd really like to be able to talk about New World a bit more, but I just can't. I've never. The only times that we did try to get on, we were blocked out for a long time. Although I don't feel it's fair to knock it out altogether because, right at the start, the critics were so adamant that this was an awesome game, and I think Amazon Games were always going to make a mistake when they released it, and their servers were under significant stress. That was always going to happen, I think. So
big problem.
There's always going to be some teething problems when it's your first game as well.
100%. So I don't think they necessarily deserved all the
bad press.
Content Creator of the Year.
Some kind of game.
Yes. See, this is a hard one for me because I don't watch or listen to any of these guys. I'm a huge fan of Woods. I'm a huge fan of Woods. I think he is a fantastic content creator.
Is Beat 'em Up Woods or
Beat 'em Up Woods?
Yeah, same.
Yeah, we love a lot of what we do is kind of inspired by what he does.
Yeah, I think he's fantastic. Also, like the fact that he is an Aussie.
Same.
Not here, but he's not here. But at the same time,
we'll give it to him.
He's here in spirit.
I just think he's so authentic and so genuine. To me,
I so agree.
If I had to pick anybody,
he's definitely our favorite content creator of the year.
Yeah, I agree.
100%. So
tweeted at him, never replied.
No. Maybe next year he'll be in there, hopefully.
Yeah, what a bastard. If he didn't reply, I don't like him.
Not like he's small.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
I'm going to go with Dream because he's got a funny
face.
You know what? Again, Game Awards, let us skip categories, please. They don't use a cam, so I don't know either.
Yeah. I also like the fact that they don't use a cam because
interesting. They don't rely on their face.
Yeah, I think to be engaging without a camera, like you guys stream, I used to stream, both have been affiliates. I would struggle heavily without a camera, I think. You can see, even on this podcast, talking to you guys, if I didn't have you face to face, and I think our listeners would definitely, or watchers, would be able to identify, is I would definitely struggle without the video aspect. My hand, I'm Italian, guys, so my hands are
Yeah.
around and stuff. That's my
This is
thing.
how you communicate.
I even try and move over at points. You'll watch. Don't watch it too much, but if I can see my hands not in the screen, I got to move it in there.
Got to get those hands.
To be able to do it without that, I think
It's a testament, isn't it?
yeah, that's props to them. Best
Nice.
debut indie. Bridge of Spirits. I'm not even going to get into that.
No, fair enough. No arguments here at all.
Most anticipated game. Sequel, Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, it's a bit of an obvious one. Is that look, great games there.
All great games.
Wouldn't
the only one that I think would test me.
Okay, I was going to say none of them would test me.
Nah, I'm a huge fan of the God of War series.
Yeah,
mainly from I used to play it when I had a PSP, and sort of not necessarily grew up with it, but I was a big fan.
Yeah, loved it.
But to me, Zelda, I mean, I'm scared for Breath of the Wild 2. I'm really nervous.
Fingers crossed. It'll be great.
It'll be good. It's Zelda.
They're going to try and mesh it with Skyward Sword, and I don't like Skyward Sword.
Yeah, judging from the trailer and the recent release of it. Yep. I think they're just going to take not necessarily the game, but just visuals and stuff like that.
Maybe just the idea
I want it to be a Breath of the Wild sequel. I don't want it to have anything to do with Skyward Sword. I don't.
It's not the strongest Zelda game in the series.
I want my horse.
Yeah.
I don't want the pelican. I don't like the pelican. I'm not interested in the pelican. I don't want it. That's
the horses were one of my favorite things about Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, they were. She loved.
I loved it. You caught them. You had to try and get Ganondorf's horse to get Ganondorf's horse. That was so epic. And
man.
Even that unicorn thing that you can only, the glowing thing that you can't.
The
Spirit of the Forest.
I can't remember what it is.
The Legend of the something.
Yeah, you can literally get it and just go for a ride, or even the Stoll horses.
The Lord of the Mountain. Sorry.
Yes, Lord of the Mountain. The Stoll horses, where they're just skeletons. You can just go for a ride on a skeleton.
Yeah. The bears.
Yes, the bears.
You can ride the bears.
So I cheated and just got the Link amiibo and got Epona, and then used Epona the whole time.
I specifically didn't use the amiibo because I loved catching my horses.
I love Epona.
I had to get Epona. I've literally got Zelda's horse. I've got Ganondorf's horse. I got Epona. I've got Titan. That's my horse that I named. And,
nice.
Lovely.
And I've got Artemis.
Ooh, I like that too.
Yes, I'm a huge fan of Artemis, the god, and the book series. Actually, I don't know if you've ever seen
Artemis Fowl.
Please,
I never really got
it on Disney. Do not watch Disney.
All right,
that's crap.
Read the books.
Don't sue me, Disney. But you did.
Books are always better.
Yeah, aren't they?
No, they actually did such a bad job at it. It's appalling, and they didn't even.
Shame.
Okay, Holly Short, who is one of the main characters, is meant to be a very strong female character. I think they did really well of saying how strong she was in the books. Yeah, it just didn't come across in the movies. And then she was the idea was she was the first female in this. I can't remember what they're called. Elf thing, blah blah blah. She was the first female. Yet in the series they had plenty, or in the movie, that the commander was actually a female. It made no. I think commander was Judi Dench. Made no sense. No sense.
Yeah, that's
screw you, Disney. So again, I'm going to put myself back on track here. Best esports game.
I have to reel you back in.
Look, out of out of respect, I'm not picking Call of Duty.
Fair enough.
Even though it is a game that I do enjoy.
Okay.
Mainly because I do play it with mates. So we've got... there's so many of us that actually play it, we can't even squad up anymore. So...
Yeah.
And like I said, I haven't played it since everything went down. So my pick is actually going to be League of Legends.
Nice, yeah.
When you think esports, League of Legends, you know?
Yeah, that comes into mind.
Absolutely, it does.
Best athlete.
Athlete.
It's the only one smiling.
Yeah. I mean, I know who 3 of these are.
Okay, well, you do better than us.
Yeah. No, only because one of the guys here is obsessed.
Okay.
And I
That's
think
helpful,
if I didn't pick Chris, I'd be in trouble.
Okay.
So we're going to go with Chris.
All right.
Fair enough.
And best esports team. Oh, this one is really easy for me, actually.
Oh, good.
Oh, that's nice.
Sentinels.
We struggled with these ones.
We did. Who did you pick for it?
Sentinels
in Valorant.
I quite like those guys.
No, fair enough. They look nice. They're smiling.
They are smiling.
Best esports coach. See,
we don't know esports teams, let alone coaches.
Yeah. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Yeah.
Catch a
We chose
tiger by the toe. Something, something, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. There we go. Silent. I'm picking him.
All right.
Nice. He looks mean.
It's a classic, like, coach face, isn't it? Like, come on, guys.
Right.
Yeah, right.
2021 League of Legends World Championship. That's an easy one for me.
Nice.
Nice.
That's everything.
It's a bit underwhelming, isn't it? The end of that.
Yeah, I was like,
is that it?
I had a couple more going on there.
No, that is it. It's probably a good thing because we've gone over time on the old podcast once again.
We've got a 2-hour movie length special once again.
People just don't enjoy us that much.
Hopefully.
That's all right.
Nah, it's all right. If there's stuff to talk about, you can't just cut it off. There's stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I think keeping it as a natural flow as we do is
think
better.
That's better.
One thing that when I listen to podcasts, I dislike is when they try and rush through a topic that they've brought up when it's actually a really interesting topic and you can hear everybody in the podcast is engaged and it's like, hold on. Just
what are you doing?
It wasn't in the agenda, guys. Like, keep going. I was enjoying that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. Doesn't bother me.
No. As long as you listeners are happy with it,
then we're happy.
That's all that really counts. Let us know. Contact us if you want. If you're sick of hearing us talk for so long, please let us know.
Yeah,
100%.
We will endeavour to do better by you.
100%.
Nice. So I guess there's a nice little recap. Was there anything you disliked about any of the nominees, Laura or Dan? Or are you happy with them all? Like, what are your thoughts?
Well, I did find the inclusion of Cyberpunk questionable, but I have heard from like several other people that, the game is really good if it works. So if you just judge it based on the certain category that they're in, rather than the game as a whole, then, it has some good qualities. Yeah. And it has some goals to strive towards. Roland has his own set of goals to strive towards.
Actually coming to work.
Roland.
Yeah.
I agree. I think while Cyberpunk is an interesting one to bring in, I think the developers did work so damn hard at it. And I think what was behind it was a really good idea. Maybe I'm a little bit partial to Keanu Reeves. I don't know. But
I love how they had his photo in there, like, oh, just vote for Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. That's the only way they'll get the vote. But
yeah, exactly.
But I think the developers do need to be recognised. It was them that said we shouldn't be releasing this. So
absolutely.
You know,
they were pretty heartbroken, I think, by the decision to rush it. And they'd said so many times that it wasn't ready, but they were just so pressured. So, yeah, that does suck for them.
I mean,
shareholders.
My brother's a software engineer, and he's expressed similar things in the past with me, going, you know, and this, not the current company that he works in, but the previous one was sort of more along the lines of the manager would say, hey, we can do it by this time, and he'd be sitting there going, that's not possible. Do you know anything about this? So, yeah, probably a little bit disappointed there that the developers aren't getting any credit at all, considering they do deserve it. It is a fantastic game, and if everything was working properly, it would easily be one of the best games.
Yeah, I feel like
maybe it even would have won Game of the Year.
It had good ideas.
The problem is it can never get there now. Never.
No,
even if they fix it tomorrow. And that's what I think is the most disappointing part for those developers. And that's probably why I'm a little bit more partial to vote for it as well, is because they invested a significant amount of, you know, their time and their emotion into the game. You can feel it.
Yeah.
To not get any credit whatsoever, I think would be a disservice to them. I definitely understand what Tom is saying. They really botched it, and I think the company needs to be crucified for that.
Yeah,
but not the developers.
Again,
no individuals.
Don't take stuff away from my company because I said that. It's my own views. But, you know, they pushed it through at the wrong time. And the thing is, it's like, I don't even remember when it got released, but it has been
this time last year or close to.
It's been so long now that
it might have been more than a year.
Yeah. Well, it was this year.
17th of September 2020.
September.
Yeah. 17th of September 2020.
That's weird that it's in.
It's more than a year.
Okay. So why is it in this year's category? That's an interesting. Maybe they were already decided last year. The Game Awards earlier last year? I think
what they do is they've got their own year, so to speak.
Yeah.
They've got their own set of rules, don't they?
Yeah, so, you know, some sort of like financial year is July.
Like a financial year, not on the
some
1st of January.
Have it from
But Forza
October.
was released in like November.
Yeah, I don't get it.
So that's not a year.
I don't
2
know
months.
what the thing is. I don't
Game
know
of the Year in 2 months.
You're so confusing.
So
Game of the Year plus an extra 2 months.
Because
they've had over a year to fix it now.
Yeah. The damage has been done, unfortunately. It is what it is.
It's done. It's done.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, those who are invested in the game now will, you know, want to finish it, I think. Others who haven't are probably too scared off of it.
Well, that's my experience with it. I don't know if I have the time and or patience to bother, which is sad. Like, as you said, the devs deserve something, but I don't know if CD Projekt Red deserves my money.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I mean, it is a good game, and the story is fantastic. So I definitely understand it being in a category.
Yeah,
I understand it being in a category. If it was in Game of the Year, somebody's.
That would be a different story, I guess. Yeah,
somebody's smoking something. That's the only thing. That's the only thing for it. So I think overall, again, for me, I just can't believe I completely have missed Deathloop. So
Look, there's always going to be something, and I think that's the issue. You can't skip, which is a bit annoying, and you can't just go out and play Deathloop for a couple of hours and figure it out. That's games as They're very different to judging songs or
Yeah.
even albums of music or movies. Even movie you can smash out in 2 hours, and maybe we could go away and watch it. But games are different. It makes it hard sometimes.
I also think it makes it hard of consoles.
That as well,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. It's not just the best PlayStation game or the best Xbox game. It's what's the best? The best game in general, and the amount of people that own all three consoles or have all of the games accessible to them, I'm sure they're in the minority.
Yeah, I wish I was one of them.
Yeah. Dan
No,
hasn't got a PS5. It's with the shortages and stuff like that. We don't have an Xbox, so. Yeah, I mean we have a computer, so I guess they're accessible there. But you know what we mean. It's
100%. It's just not accessible to everybody,
especially for kids as well. What parents buy their kids 3 or 4 consoles?
Yeah,
not mine.
And all of those games too. There's some less than child friendly ones.
Yes, that as well. 100%.
Yeah, I think that's probably the only real downfall I would have of this Game of the Year stuff is. There really should be a console category.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Best game on Switch, best game on PlayStation, best game on computer, best game on Xbox.
100%.
It really.
Yeah, I agree. That would be good.
I was thinking about what categories to add. I thought that some of the genres could have gone a bit further, like action adventure. Just have a best platformer. I love platformers. I would have been stoked to have a best platformer, but I think. Dan's point is that's fantastic. Yeah. They should definitely take that into account. Best Switch game, best PlayStation, best Microsoft, for sure. There we go. There's our opinions on the Game Awards. If you disagree, please feel free to reach out and let us all know. We've said it before in this podcast. We'll say it again. Gaming is such a personal, individual experience. No opinion is any lesser than any other opinion, and everybody is entitled to them. So if you disagree, totally fair. We respect and we support those decisions in all ways, shapes, and forms.
100%.
Yeah, agreed.
Very well said.
Yeah, so it's very important to note. We don't always make correct decisions either.
No, nobody can.
No.
It's no fun that way.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, if everybody was right, the world would be boring. But thank you so much. We really appreciate you coming and listening and or watching, depending on how you're doing it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week.
I believe we will.
See you later.
Thanks, guys. Bye.